I found this today while metal detecting on my family farm in South Mississippi. It looks like it has a Keystone logo in the middle, and maybe it says Pennsylvania around the edge, but it's pretty crusty. I'm not sure if it's from clothing, farm equipment, or something else. Does anybody recognize it or have an idea how old it might be? This is an antique Distin & Sons saw medallion. This website says it's from 1896 to 1917 manufacture date range. It's the round decorative and functional brass emblem found on the wooden handle of a handsaw, made by Henry Distin & Sons, one of America's most famous tool manufacturers. The medallion also serves as the outer nut that helps secure the handle to the saw blade. I found this heavy metal object while cleaning out an old dresser. It's got long narrow tubes and a handle, but I can't tell what purpose it served. It looks industrial, maybe something for molding or storage. My friend said it's some sort of heat exchanger or a radiator for heating a room. Any ideas what it's used for? This is an antique candle mold, used to create uniform taper candles in the 18th and 19th centuries. It features long and narrow tubes designed for pouring tallow or beeswax and a handle for easy transport. A cotton, hemp, or linen string was threaded down the center of each tube and held taut at the top and bottom. You put clay on the bottom of the mold to make sure that the wax doesn't run out the bottom. The melted wax was then poured into the top of the molds, and they were left to cool until the wax solidified. As it cools down, the candles are going to shrink a little bit. You can also put a slight coating of oil in there so that the wax will release from the mold. I opened a random drawer in my grandma's empty house and found this thing just sitting there. For a moment I froze because it looks like something from a spy movie. It's heavy, it has a button, and it feels important. What do you think this thing was used for? This is a vintage dumpling maker, a kitchen tool used throughout the former USSR to make pelmeni, small meat-filled dumplings similar to ravioli. Collectors often call it a ravioli gun because of its pistol-like appearance. First, make marks with a gun on a pre-rolled dough, then lay out the fillings and cover it with another layer of dough. Then the trigger, or internal plunger mechanism, pressed the filling and crimped the dough. Then a finished ravioli-like dumpling was released. Does anyone know what this strange thing from my grandma's attic is? I pulled it out from behind a stack of dusty boxes. I've never seen anything like it before, and it seems to be ancient. It's made of sturdy wood, with a metal surface with deep grooves all the way down. What do you think it was used for? This is an antique washboard, often used in the early 20th century to manually scrub clothes. It was designed for scrubbing laundry by hand, using soap and water. Smaller versions were specifically designed to fit into pails for washing delicate items like hosiery and lingerie. What are these metal poles mounted on the fronts of houses in Bruges, Belgium? Two hooks connect these at the top, but they don't seem removable or anything. I spotted these on what seem to be residences. They sort of have the feel of fire pokers or something similar, but are much longer and interestingly seemingly unable to be moved from where they are, and they don't appear to be connected to anything. Does anyone know anything about it? It's a bell pull, or doorbell pull, for ringing the doorbell. The rod is going through the wall, and inside, there is usually a bell attached. You pull it down, and where it connects at the top, it pulls it out from the wall, triggering the mechanism. But these ones are probably not functional anymore. The moving parts and joints are welded, and the wall anchor is fixed with concrete. What are these women's metal spring shoes? My dad found these in his basement, and we have no idea why these exist. I guess it's probably a weight loss gimmick. I would appreciate any information on it. These are 1950s to 60s satellite jumping moon shoes, also known as spacewalkers, allowing kids to bounce and jump as if walking on the moon. You have no idea how bad I wanted these when I was like 8 to 10 years old. I asked for them for Christmas for at least 2 to 3 years, but never got them. I thought I could jump as high as the house. It was patented on September 27, 1960, by Albert J. Horton of Cleveland Heights, Ohio. My father was a farmer and an outdoorsman who lived in Amish County. It's older than me, and it has puzzled many. We are thinking it may be an old ice fishing rod holder, or maybe used for fencing or baling hay. Someone also suggested it's possibly for removing fish hooks from a fish's mouth or throat, or an oven rack puller. What is this intended to be used for? It's an antique wash stick, also known as a laundry fork. Here is an example that looks similar to yours, from the National Museum of American History, that says it's from 1890 to 1920. This is a tool that was used for doing laundry before the advent of more modern appliances, and they could come in different shapes and sizes. You'd use these to stir the laundry, lift up pieces out, especially useful if the water is hot, and you could slap pieces as well to help shake off excess moisture when putting them up to dry. What is this small object that looks like a miniature bomb, found in my house? It's heavy for its size, and it fell out of a box of random junk. I know some of the contents came from a family member. Can anyone help with identifying what it is? It's a lazy dog bomb from the Korean and Vietnam War era, an unguided kinetic projectile. Back in the day, the military would pack thousands of these into massive cluster canisters and drop them from planes, or literally just dump them out of helicopters by the bucketful. Because they're solid steel, they relied entirely on gravity. By the time they hit terminal velocity on the way down, they were traveling over 500 miles per hour and had the punching power of a .50 caliber bullet, allowing them to pierce through jungle canopies and vehicle roofs. Troops used to pocket them as souvenirs all the time, which explains why it was just chilling in the house. Pretty wild piece of history to find. What is this wedding gift? We are organizing some things and found this weird wedding gift that an uncle gave us. We didn't know then, and still don't know now. It looks like an espresso tamper, but it needs an espresso machine. It also looks like a press for a wax seal stamp. What is this, and what can it be used for? Please tell us down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Let's make life fun.